today I am going to be bringing a brand new original book tag because one, I really love Christmas and I have never created my own tag. So the tag I created was the 12 Days of Christmas. So it's going to go through just like the song, 12 Days of Christmas. Each day, your true love gives you a new gift. And each day is going to have a different question. So let's get started. So on the first day, what does your true love give you? A partridge in a pear tree. And the question for that is, what is a book or series that you read and you absolutely loved and it was just fantastic, but you felt like you were sitting out there all alone in your own little pear tree, that no one else really enjoyed it as much as you? And for me, that was The Elite by Kira Cass. Now, I liked the entire series, but I feel like I really enjoyed this book more than I enjoyed this selection, only because it gave more of the background and more character development, and most people felt like this one wasn't as good, and so I personally liked this one. I thought it was great, so this made me feel like I was out alone on a partridge. Not on a partridge, but a partridge in my pear tree all by myself. So, moving on to the second day. The second day is Two Turtle Doves. And what better way to celebrate Two Turtle Doves is, what is your favorite love story? And I chose the love story from the Love Comes Softly series, Clark and Marty. And their love story comes together in this book, and it is just absolutely amazing, and I just love the journey that these two go on. And then throughout the entire series, it's not always focused on the two of them, but they're in every single book, and they're just their love for each other and their devotion to one another and their strength, and it's just a really great story, and I really love the series anyway. So that would be my Two Turtle Doves. So the third day is Three French Hens. The question is, what is a book that you love that is written by a foreign author? So the book that I chose, I like a few from different European authors, but one of my favorite books, and I've talked about this many times already on my channel, and that is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I'm not really sure if I pronounced that right, probably not, but this is originally a French book, and it's been translated into English, and one of my goals one day in my life to have learned enough French that I can read this book in the original language, because I feel like any book is always the best when it's in its original language. Something is usually lost in translation. And so I really love this book. It's amazing. It's a cute little, not cute, but just a really good children's story, but also as an adult, like, it has so much depth to it that you can bring out of it, and it's awesome. So that is my Three French Hens, and this is actually French. Oh, that's awesome. So the fourth day, Four Calling Birds. Oh. So the question is, what is a book that was so good that you couldn't stop talking about it, and you have reread it so many times or would love to reread it if you had the chance or the time? I wanted to get through this tag without talking about the series, but I couldn't, because honestly, it is one of the only books that I talk about all the time, recommend to everyone, and that is the Harry Potter series. And I have read The Sorcerer's Stone so many times. One, like, my book is falling apart. I've lost track of how many times I read this book, and it's just awesome every single time I read it. It's so good. That is my Four Calling Birds. I can't stop talking about it. Then Five Golden Rings. So what is a series that you believe brought home the gold? And I've already talked about Harry Potter, and I was so determined to find another series that really, I felt like, brought home the gold. And that would be, it's not, so this isn't necessarily a series because the way that Tamara Alexander writes her books is that they can be read as a standalone. One of my favorites is the Timber Ridge Reflections, and that is From a Distance, Beyond This Moment, and Within My Heart. These, I just absolutely love these stories. They're love stories. They're also, it's Christian fiction, but not Christian fiction that is so overly sickly sweet and wholesome and pure. Like, this series just brought home the gold. It was so good and amazing, and all the characters are awesome and wonderful. And so I highly recommend these. So now we are on to some 6 Geese a-laying. And what for you is a standalone that you wish the story would just continue? And this is a book that I just read, and that is A Cliche Christmas by Nicole Deese. And this is just an amazing story, but I feel like it could have been a lot longer. It was only 180 some pages, so it's really short. And so I would have liked to have more story, to learn more about the different characters and to get a little bit more in-depth background. And yeah, so I wasn't ready to say goodbye to these characters. I wanted more of their story and more of their journey. And so I think that's really a really good place to end a book is that it resolved enough that you're like, yeah, it was satisfying, but it left you wanting more. And so yeah, so that would be my 6 Geese a-laying. I wanted some more laying on this book. That didn't make any sense. Okay. So the next one is 7 Swans Swimming. And as you know, swans are beautiful. So what is a book that you own or you've seen or that you've read that has a beautiful cover? And guess what? Extra points if it has a swan on it. Because we're keeping score. Yes. And for me, I've shown this before, but it still is true. I went through all my books to see if I had another one that had a pretty cover, but nothing compares to this book, and that is our copy of The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It is just amazing. Like, it has, has the gold etching and Bilbo and this really beautiful tree and a dragon tail on the end, and it's just so awesome. And it's like, the cover is like almost like cloth, and it's just so cool. And a little bonus, I know I've shown this before, but it's illustrated, like it's entirely illustrated. So the pictures are just amazing. They're so beautiful. So that is my 7 Swans a-Swimming. It's definitely not an ugly duckling. Okay, so the next is 8 Maids and Milking. And I don't know about you, I've never personally milked a cow, but I know it is hard work. I know it's hard. But the end result is an awesome pail of delicious milk. I mean, I don't think I would drink milk straight out of a cow, but if you like that kind of thing, it's amazing. So what book or series had you working through it, but the result, the outcome was well worth it? I mean, you may not have a steaming pail of delicious milk, but it was worth the read. And the series that I chose was the Circle Trilogy by Ted Decker. This is the third one. It is black, red, and white. And it's an amazing, amazing story. But the thing is it wasn't that I had to trudge through it. It was just that I had to really focus when I was reading it, because there's so much detail that if you miss one thing, it kind of throws you off and you don't completely understand what's going on. And so especially the beginning, when you're trying to really get into the world and understand where they're going and what's going on, but the end result was amazing. So now we are on to 9 Ladies Dancing, right? Yes, 9 Ladies Dancing. So the book that had the most amazing ending that had you dancing around the room. I wouldn't say it necessarily was dancing around the room, but for me, that would be The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. The entire series was awesome. I loved The Chronicles of Narnia. but the last battle is one of my favorite, and just the last several chapters are amazing. So amazing. And so without spoilers, I just love the line that is just further up and further in, that just keeps repeating it, and it's just so beautiful and so wonderful, and it's a great ending to the entire series. It's an amazing ending to the entire series, and it just brings all of the characters back together, and it is so beautiful and so wonderful. And I wasn't necessarily dancing technically, physically, but yeah, it was so good. So now the next one is 10 Lords of Leaping. So what book had you, or has you, or will have you leaping to the front of the line to get it? And that book for me is Donald Miller's new book, which I can't think of the title of it now, that is coming out sometime soon. And I'm so excited about it. I absolutely love all of his books. They're so wonderful. He just has a great way of writing and great way of telling his story and great way of being real and honest about Christianity and life and sin and hardship and all this stuff. And so his new book is on relationships, and I'm so excited about it. And I may not be pushing people out of line, and there may not even be a huge line, especially, in my town for the release of this book, but I will definitely be buying that book when it comes out, and I'm very excited about it. Yes. So next, we have 11 Pipers Piping. So, what book, movie, or song, when you read, hear, or watch it, just sings to you the Christmas spirit, the Christmas feeling, the Christmas time wonderfulness? And the song, for me, would be really any Christmas hymn, but I love Come All Ye Faithful. It is amazing. It reminds me of my childhood and Christmas Eve services, and I could break out into song right now, but I'm not going to. So, yeah. The movie is one that my husband and I, we wait until December 1st to watch it. We watch it together, and we cannot watch it until December 1st, and that would be Elf! It's awesome! I absolutely love this movie. It's so funny. Every time I watch it, I laugh at every single joke. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen it, even in that season, I laugh at the joke, and it's just so funny. So funny. It's awesome. If you haven't seen it, then you really need to just go buy it, because you're going to want to buy it. And go buy it and watch it, and it's awesome. So those are song and the movie that just sing Christmas to me. And then the last one, 12 drummers drumming. I don't know what that was. That was me pretending to play the drums. Yes. So pick a book or a series that you feel it came out with a great rhythm. It was awesome, fantastic, just blew you away. But then the middle, it kind of got offbeat. No, they wasn't together. And then in the end, it just went out with a great big bang. It was awesome. I chose the duology by Christine Hanna, Firefly Lane and Fly Away, that I read a couple months ago. And Firefly Lane, it started out great. The development of the characters, the friendship between the two main girls, it was awesome. But then it just got really slow. It just kept going, and I felt like we weren't getting to the main point of the story. And it just took a long time to finally get there. But then, when the last 100 pages of the book were fantastic, and then Fly Away, the entire book was awesome. So that wraps up the 12 days of Christmas. So I will tag a lot of people, and I'll put that down below because I can't think of all of their channels right now. So go check it out, see if you were tagged down below. And also, if you just love Christmas as much as I do, please do this video. Okay guys, I hope you have a great Christmas season and a great time of family and friends and fun and maybe snow depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Bye!